Are you suffering from some type of mental disability or some type of mental illness? Are you being bullied? Are you having issues coming out with your sexuality to your family? You feel like the world is on your shoulders and things are getting so hard that there's no way out. I got news for you. That's not true. If you're thinking about harming yourself or doing anything to the effect that revolves around you taking your own life, please stop, think, and go get help. The world is not a better place without you. People do care. And when you open your voice up, you'll find that not only do we care, we love you. Before you do something such as harm yourself or any form of fashion, simply pick up the phone, dial 1-800-273-8255 and get help. And if for some strange reason, for some odd reason, you just don't feel comfortable enough contacting that number and you need someone that you can trust that's going to make sure that they keep your secrets but yet hear you, then feel free to just simply reach out to me on any of my social media feeds. Put in the title, I'm ready to talk. The last thing I want to do is hear about you. When the truth is, I just want to hear from you. So before you decide to do something that not only affects you, but affects all those around you, please seek help. Now let's talk some football. What up, though, Pride Nation? Welcome back to another Field Review podcast show where we talk all things Detroit.Lions. Look, I'm excited for it. Today's show is going to be a little bit short because we are doing a roundtable on RachelMarieSports' channel today at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'll probably be on here for about an hour 15, maybe an hour and a half. And then, covering certain topics I want to jump on and covering your questions. And then, get myself ready to do the roundtable. So, that's the first thing. The other house news is this. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on the Dan Show. Now, if you're not familiar with the Dan Show, I don't know what to tell you. He's somebody who has been supporting me, and I support him. And if you like betting, he's probably the guy you want to watch. So I'll be on that show tomorrow, talking a little bit of Lions football and NFC North. So you might want to be over there to check that out. Let me try and forget no other house mail. Let me see. No, I think that's about it, people. I'm in a good damn mood. Now, if you can't tell, let me help you get to the bottom line of this, people. All the conversations that I have that lift me up in ways that I don't know. But before we get into that, let's talk about who's in the house with us today. We got CJ in the building, One Pride 40, Chris Watts, Looney Tunes in the building. We got Ghost Gunner in the building. We got Tim Hutchinson in the building. JGB is in the building. Zach J is in the building. One Funky Lions fan is in the building. The Delusional Lions fan is in the building. Ted Channing, I hope I said that right. He says, what up, though? I'll take 2 red pills ready for the fire. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have In the Mix in the building. We got Motown football in the building. Bo Gary's is in the building. We got AB in the building. We got Nick Aaron. Shout out to you, Nick. I ain't seen you in a while. What's going on? I'm glad to hear from you. He got him in the building. We got Elk Production in the building. Lions Lee, James Larkins, and anybody else who's joining me. First things first, hit the like button. Okay? That's the first thing first. And I do got one more piece of mail because I thought about this the other day and it made sense to me. I need to start giving a little bit more recognition to the unsung heroes. And I'll tell you what I mean. I was sitting up the other day and I was talking to one of the subscribers who hit me up through one of the social media feeds. And he was talking about like how much he appreciates, how much he appreciates what I do. And I was like, okay, I appreciate it. And it occurred to me, he's an EMT. And we've been talking about all the work that the doctors have done. We've talked about all the work that the nurses have done, but we forgot about some people who are heroes, who managed to make things a little bit more simpler for us through this pandemic. And I'm talking about the EMTs that we somehow seem to forget that is going into these situations that are unknown. I'm talking about the firemen, the police officers, the school teachers who are uprooting their lives and trying to find a way to still educate our children. I'm talking about the social workers. I'm talking about these people who are managing to still do things so simple. I'm talking about the brave people who manage to do work at nonprofit organizations and for charities. I'm talking about you people who found a way to get things done. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, my people's in the building. Man hours in the building. Shout out to them. If you ain't subscribed to them, I don't know what you're doing. Clearly, you're not paying attention to me because I rocks with them. JT's in the building. JT.Sports is in the building. He says, can I get the link? What you trying to talk about, JT? What you trying to talk about? Tell me what you trying to talk about. But no, listen. JT, stay tuned. I got something for you, bro. Stay tuned. So listen, people. I got a lot to cover in a short period of time. Oh, you know what? Look, I can't leave this out. Wait a minute, what? Man, my woman B's about the EMTs and warned that she has to deal with on the regular. They got a hard job, man. It says, my union electrician brothers. Hey, we cannot, man, listen. Woo, let me tell you. When that pandemic hit, boy, I tell you. I think I had a power outage maybe once or twice, and they certainly did the damn thing and making sure we got that fixed. I don't want to leave nobody out. Not the hacker. We said, what's up, Luke? What's going on? My man, I says, hit that like button, y'all. Listen, I'm in a really good mood. All right, I'm finna tell y'all why. I'm having a conversation with a subscriber. He brought something to my attention, something that I didn't even think about. And when he brought this to my attention, he tells me that not only did I miss this, but that I need to talk about it. And here's what he said. He said that the Detroit Lions, from top to bottom, have created a perfect winning culture. And I said, damn. But I thought it'd take 3 years. He said, no, it's already been done. I said, well, help me follow. And he says, if you go through and you start from the owner and work your way on down on each part of the team, all the way down to the players, each group has a designated leader in it. And I was like, okay, so who's the leader for the quarterbacks? And he says, well, it's Jared Goff. I said, who's the leader for the running backs? And he says it's Jamal Williams. Okay. Well, who's the leader for the receivers? Because that's the group that nobody seems to just respect or care about. Who's the leader for them? And he says Tyrell Williams. And the tight ends? And he goes Darren Fales. I hope I say this name right. Fales. He said Fales is the leader. I said in the offensive line, he says Frank Radnow and Taylor Decker. I said, well, okay. Tell me who's the leader on the defensive line. I said, if you tell me Trey Flowers, we in trouble, right? Because at this point, I'm challenging his views. I'm 100% challenging his thought process. You know what he tells me who the leader is? He says, well, it's not going to be who you think it is, but he said, unfortunately, it's Nick Williams. What? Nick Williams? I said, not Michael Brockers? Nope. Why is Michael Brockers not the leader? He said, well, Nick Williams is grooming Michael Brockers into being the leader. Michael Brockers has his own way of being a leader. He says, but you can have more than one leader in the unit. So if you want to put Michael Brockers in, you could. Now, at this point, he's got my attention, right? Because he's thinking past where I thought, because I was too busy trying to get people to understand the most simplest things, okay? And he goes, I said, well, who's the leader in the linebacker? Let me guess, Jamie Collins? You know what he broke out and told me? Nope. He says the leader on that defense, and you haven't seen it yet. He said there are two. He says there's Jalen Reeves-Maben and the rookie Derek Barnes. And I said, why is Barnes the leader? He said, because, mark my words, I have a feeling that he's about to take over this defense by surprise. He's about to be something special. And I said, okay, well, why would Jalen Reeves-Maben be the leader? And he said, because he's willing to take whatever role they give him and play his part for the betterment of the team. And that's important for any team that has success. Well, damn it, you playing with me, what I said to him. He goes to me, he says, I said, well, who's the defensive back leader? He said, well, you got 3. I said, okay, who is that? He says, Okuda. I said, okay. Okay, I don't want to argue with you. Okay, okay, Okuda it is. What else? He says, Tracy Walker. I said, okay. I said, who's the 3rd person? He says, Dean Marlowe. Huh. I said, and so why did you identify these players as the leaders of these teams? Luke, who said this stuff? The subscriber did. I'm not going to tell you his name because I want to make sure that it's okay for me to share it afterwards. I didn't get the verification on it. I was too busy in the conversation. Generally, when I talk to y'all, anything I talk to y'all about, I ask you, hey, can I share that on the show? I will not share it before then. So just food for thought. But I didn't get you to ask him beforehand, but it was a damn good conversation. So we have this conversation. And so he breaks down all these leaders. And I say, so what do they got to do with us being a championship culture? So he says, go through all of the teams who won the Super Bowl. And from top to bottom, all the way down to the players at every position, you're going to find leadership. All right, well, I start with the Buccaneers, right? Because y'all know I like me some Buccaneers too. So I go and I look top to bottom. Damn. Okay, that one fit the mold. I go to the next team that won the Super Bowl, and I go, okay, look at top to bottom. Okay, damn, boom, 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 boom. Oh shit, that one fit. Okay, now I'm starting to see a pattern here. Now I say to him, but what if it don't work? What if for some strange reason Dan Campbell does not know how to coach? He said that's the problem with people. Everybody think he's been brought here to just be the coach. His main objective is to be a motivator and a game manager. I said, oh, okay. But he got to manage. I said, but he got to coach those games too. He said, why do you think he created all these different safety nets and put all these different people in place to protect him? See, he knows that as an alpha, you got to know when to let people lead. And I said, oh. Now, while y'all talking, let's keep it 100. I'm showing my union people some love. Let's keep it 100. Southwest.Alliance says, don't leaders have to be good? Nope, they don't. In fact, I can tell you a few of them who wasn't good, but they were damn good leaders. Right? Like I could tell you a few from other teams and on our team. We had a few on our team who wasn't good, but they was good leaders. Like Kyle Vanderbosch, he was okay. I wouldn't say necessarily he was super good, not with us, not like he was with the Titans, but he was one of the leaders. Right? So just pointing out the other guy from the Ravens whose name I can't never pronounce. He was okay, but he wasn't, what I would put good. So we did this whole conversation to get to this point. And that point is this. Will the culture that has been built lead to wins? And so now he's giving me history. He's telling me, oh, if you do this, 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 and this, you'll get this, 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 and that. Right? He like, if you do this, 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 and this, you'll get this, 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 and that. So I'm listening to him break this all down. And this is the part that really blew my mind. He went through and showed why the style of coaching that Campbell brings work. And he went through a bunch of years. And it was amazing. We talking about Pete Carroll's on his list. We're talking about Pete Carroll on his list. We're talking about what's his name? Jim Harbaugh was on his list. He put God, what is the dude name? Jesus help me. Rex Ryan on the list. He had all these different coaches that he showed who came in with this unorthodox way of just getting through to people, and it worked. It worked. And I'm saying to myself, all right, he on to something. The Detroit Lions are already been written off. They've already been told that they're not going to be good. Go ahead, lock it up. They're going to have the first overall pick. They've been told this. The Detroit Lions have enough bulletin board material that there's really not much you can do to change the outcomes of the public's view on this team. He's made it clear. And I asked him this one question about the Lions. I said, what do you predict their record to be? And he said their record is going to be what they believe it to be. I said, what? I said, no, but what do you think it's going to be? He said, no, it's not what I think. It's what they believe their record to be is going to be the record. And he says to me, if they believe that they're a bottom-feeding team, then they'll be a bottom-feeding team. If they believe that they are a team that's going to win more than 8 games, then they'll be a team to win more than 8 games. It's the mentality that they have to accept. And it looks like they have accepted it. And so now that brings me to my point that I now bring in JT Sports, my man JT, to ask this question to him as he strolls on up in here. Do you think this chip on the shoulder mentality will work for the Lions and increasing the win totals for them in 2021?
I mean, I do think that they're going to win more against what they did last year. How many did they win? 6?
They won 5 last year.
Yeah, I made a bet with a Packers fan that the Lions will win more than 5 games and that they will win a game against Green Bay this year. And let's just say if it goes through, I'll be buying the PS5. But like, I don't really feel like the chip on the shoulder mentality is what's going to win them games because I mean, every team's motivated. I mean, Arizona's motivated. Chicago's motivated. Everybody's motivated. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Southwest Lions got a good question to Jimbo G. He says, if you are a starter and you are leading other players and you are not doing a good job yourself, how is that going to play with the other players? Those who can do and those who can't teach. There have been people like Kellen Moore, who was a leader for the Lions and a leader for the Cowboys, who is now their coordinator because he couldn't do what he can teach. That's leading. You don't necessarily always got to be good. He don't necessarily have to be a starter. You have to be able to have the attention of the people who are listening. That's how you get to that answer. Let me tell you, when I heard this question, the first thing I thought about is yeah, absolutely that the chip on the shoulder mentality works because it worked for so many other teams. It worked for the Eagles. It worked for even the Kansas City Chiefs. They talked about how they got tired of hearing people say, oh, they always just get there and then they lose, and they got tired of that. So the chip on the shoulder,
the underdog mentality.
Works. I mean, it's underdog, chip on the shoulder, whatever you want to call it. Wherever somebody is doubting you, or they don't like you, or they're putting all this press out saying that you suck. Yeah, it works to change the trajectory of what you're doing. It has to.
I feel you, but at the same time, like, I'm kind of the wrong person to ask because me, like, I don't really feel like that. I really feel like if a team wins and the team surprises everybody, it's not because of an underdog mentality. It's just the fact that, you know, they're going out there and they're executing.
Yeah, but that is part of the underdog mentality. And I'll tell you why. Because I've done it as a football player. I've done it. You've done it. You telling me as an athlete that you ain't never looked at your schedule, saw that you was gonna play a certain team and went, oh, them guys. You ain't never did that?
Well, no, because
go ahead and lie. Go ahead and lie.
I'm not, because we were always that team that everybody was motivated to play against because we're one of the powerhouses in the city.
Okay, but were there teams that you looked at and you went, oh, it's done. We'll beat them. You ain't never did that.
For sure.
Okay, so just stay with me. If you're coming in with that mentality, you don't think other people doing that at the pro level? Yeah. So now what happens is you come in, you take a team light, the team know you're taking them light, and you get hit in the mouth. The same thing happened with the Detroit Pistons. I'll never forget the year the Detroit Pistons went on to that championship. There was a host of teams who just took us light. We just wiped the floor with them. And the same thing with the Lions. There's some people who came into the game thinking that this was going to be a cakewalk, i.e. New England one year, another year Kansas City thought that, you know, it was going to be a cakewalk, and got into a dogfight. But the point I'm making is these players and this attitude of people doubting you is motivation. It's almost like I heard this quote a long time ago that says I wanted to give up, but then I realized I have too many haters to make upset. Like it's like that. So to me, I think the underdog, chip on the shoulder, 100% plays into success. Look at the Browns. Who in the hell had the Browns going 11-5 after what they did the previous year?
Me.
You had them going 11-5?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I had them going 10-6 the year prior, and everybody was like, "JT, you're still high on the Browns. You had them winning this many games last season."
Okay, well, you the first person I heard with that prediction, but I didn't have the Browns doing much of anything, and they still showed up and hit people in the mouth, and they did it in a way that people said that you couldn't do it, which is run the ball. Okay. The Lion's Share says, here is the Lion's Share take on 2021 season. If we beat San Francisco on opening day, look out. But if we lose, same old Lions mentality. See, that's too bleak.
I don't think. Here's my thing. You can't judge a team by how they started at the beginning of the season, because if that's the case, then the Las Vegas Raiders probably should have been in the AFC Championship game. The real football season starts after Thanksgiving. That's where we start to see the pretenders separate themselves from the actual contenders every single year. So it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. How many teams start the season out fast and collapse? How many teams start the season out slow and end up finishing strong? Like Pittsburgh, like my Steelers, for example, we went 11-0, and then after Thanksgiving, we saw how things came crashing down.
Yeah, but I think what he's saying is his benchmark for the Lions is I'm on board if they come out opening day, because in his eyes, that's probably a game they shouldn't win. Now, if they win this game that they shouldn't win, he's saying he's gonna be on board, and that's what he's saying. And I'm okay with that. I just want people to understand that when you have leadership from top to bottom going throughout the roster and on the coaching staff, and the fact that you have people who are doubting you, you create a dangerous potion for success. It's the reason why Rocky is a popular movie, why the Karate Kid is still lit to this day and got a whole YouTube thing that ended up spiraling to something bigger. It's because people love the underdog story. And when you get the underdog story going and people buy into it, things happen differently. And that's why I think the chip on the shoulder, the underdog card, that's why I think it works. That's why I think it makes sense. That's why I think that it's one of them things where the Lions can be in a position to take advantage of some people who are going to buy into that rhetoric of, oh, this is just the Lions. And they're going to get hit in the mouth. To kind of speed it up, because I got to switch gears, because I'm not going to be on long, because I got to do the round table tonight too. I don't know if y'all heard this, but Brad Holmes basically retained pretty much the entire personnel department. And it brought me to this idea of the question of, did Brad Holmes make a mistake keeping most of his personnel department? What do you think, JT?
No, man. Maybe those were the guys he was comfortable with. I'm pretty sure he interviewed everybody.
Well, this is why I think not only is it not a mistake, I think it's a brilliant move by him. And I'm going to tell you why. If you just go through and you look at that personnel department and you just go through and you look at all the draft picks through over the last 4 or 5 years, right? Just look at it. The first thing that he said is he wants to give them the same opportunity to lose the job that he's given to these players. He's basically saying to the players, hey, you on a 1-year deal, earn your paycheck and we'll pay you. Whether you get paid here or somewhere else, this is your chance to get paid one way or another. And he's essentially said to his personnel department, I expect y'all to have players that I can do something with. Otherwise, you won't be here. Earn your job. Now, when you create that level of competition in the scouting department, we got problems. Because now the level of competition is not just designated to those on the field. It's not just designated to the coaching staff. It's designated to all the behind-the-scene people. Do your job and you get paid. Don't do your job and you get gone. But most importantly, they didn't really do a bad job. The bad job came from a head coach who hired his friend and they couldn't get on the same page. That's what happened. They couldn't get on the same page. They like you had the training staff who wanted Isaiah Simmons. That's the whole scout and everybody in the building wanted Simmons. You got Patricia who wanted Derek Brown. And then you got, Quin who just said, Okuda, you're the pick at 3.
Isn't there an old expression that goes, don't do business with friends or family?
You say you're supposed to. You're supposed to not do it, but yet he did. And that's why a lot of these coaches fail. That's why another reason why I look at the Lions and I say they're going to succeed because there is no friendships here. These are people who have got to come together and do the job. And y'all got to be on the same page. And it's important. It's important. So to keep that personnel department to me is 100% brilliant. Southwest Lions says the intangibles are so with the Lions this season more than I've ever seen. The expectations are so damn low. Combine that with better coaching, better in the trenches. Lions win at least 8 games. Where's the lie? You disagree with that, JT?
Last night I was going over the schedule and I'm doing my rec prediction. Yeah, but I was going over it and I had them winning. I had them winning like 6 or 7, so not too far off. Now I don't know about this 10-13 games that Jimbo G talking about.
Well, I look at it like this. I'll wait to see what your video look like. In terms of your rankings and stuff. But the truth is this. This team has an opportunity to take all of the negative parts of this media, their history, and they have a chance to either do one or two things to it. Bow down to it and just be like, oh, this is what it is. Or they can be like, F that history. There was a video. I'll never forget this video because it was important. And I can't remember who reminded me of the video. I want to say it was it James? Somebody remind me of the video. I want to say it was James Harrington. I want to say that's who it was. But he sent me the video, and I forgot all about the video. You remember the video where Landry, the wide receiver on the Browns, was filmed going off on the receiving room because they had people claiming they was hurt and they was sick and they couldn't do it. And he cussed them out, told them to get off his team. They can't do it. He's like, yo, I play hurt. I go through everything. Whatever was on, I forget. But I know he got recorded going the F off. Like he was in rare form, letting it be known, we're not doing this no more. I don't care what the history was on this team. That ain't the history why I'm here. That ain't the history why you here. And if you think it is, go home now. Everybody hurt. He says my back hurt, my legs hurt, and I'm out there practice. If you ain't hurt, practice. And so when I seen that, I said, oh, okay. They go that leadership at every level, willing to get in the faces, willing to make people uncomfortable, willing to not have people like them. There they go again, showing his ugly head, letting people know that there's from top to bottom, we got to be here. That's where it's at. And so for me, I look at it and I say, yeah, you keep this personnel. You got competition built in it. But more importantly, what you have is an opportunity for people to do something different. I had another subscriber tell me that they're trying to build pools, and then an article comes out saying that Brad Holmes is not only trying to just be the GM of the Lions, but he's trying to open doors for other minority GMs. So he's keeping people in place who did good at their job this season, but he's keeping people in place who can add to them. And that's important. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, man. I definitely agree. And I like the hiring of Brad Holmes. There are a lot of people who criticized it. They wanted Louis Riddick, which
that was terrible. Against. That was terrible. If we'd have took Louis Riddick, I would not. Listen, I don't know why. I just looked at certain little bits and pieces when it came to Louis Riddick, and I felt like he just a lot of times is on the same boat as some of the other pundits. And I didn't like that. And I also didn't like the fact that, he didn't come off to me as a guy who can sustain something. And it's evident in a lot of ways. But yeah, Louis Riddick to me was not the answer. I just didn't see it. Tactical Puma, yes, I feel like we are going to crane kick the hell out of them. I just think the cards are stacked in our favor. John Kapler says, "Our chips on the shoulders, wide receivers might go off, be like, y'all didn't want me. I'm going off. Now y'all with the Lions." Yeah, it's one of the things when you look at it. The 91 Lions had the same thing happen with their receivers, where actually Perryman's father was, I want to say, he's either traded or let go by the team that drafted him. He ended up getting to another team. Then he got to the Lions, and pretty much everybody wrote him off. He balled out for us. Just saying. JT, I gotta switch gears a little bit, right? Because I'm trying to hit on a bunch of different topics and do it quick and swiftly. JT, you have taken your fair share of heat from the Lion fan base for certain takes. That's a fair thing to say, right?
You talking about this year or last year?
Period.
because like all the takes I've taken heat when it has come to the Detroit Lions, I've taken a lot of heat for being, honest and most of the time being right. I haven't missed on the Lions yet.
Okay.
Me and you haven't. Me and you both haven't. Last year we both called it.
Yeah, because it's Patricia though. For me, it was easy to see. The coaching was the biggest problem. Speaking of coaching, 7 teams got a new head coach this year. Right? 7. Mm-hmm. The Detroit Lions, the Atlanta Falcons, the Eagles, the Jets, the Chargers, the Jags, and the Texans. Of all 7 of those teams, which one of them coaches have the best chance of being successful in year 1?
Chargers, Brandon Staley. Because Brandon Staley already has a team equipped to win right away. And you look at all the one possession games the Chargers lost last year, poor time management, poor clock management on Anthony Lynn's part. And on top of that, that defense already has a lot of talent. It just needs a complete defensive mastermind to take it over. And Brandon Staley with Derwin James coming back and Joey Bosa fully healthy, that defense has all the tools there to have, an elite defense this year. Because that's what Brandon Staley does. He turned around the Rams defense in 1 year, and that defense already had talent.
Let me ask you a question. You can tell me if this is fair or not. Did the Chargers not only lose their head coach, because obviously they went on and moved on from Anthony Lynn. Who was the offensive coordinator when Lynn was there? Do you remember?
I can't remember it off the top of my head. I think
but he's
it was
not there.
Or something. Yeah,
but he's not there now. Okay, all right. And do you remember who was also contributed to the success of Herbert? It was another guy.
Yeah, it was 80% Pep Hamilton. He's with Houston.
Okay, so 3 key pieces is gone from the Chargers. And yet you think he still got the best chance of succeeding?
Yeah, why wouldn't he? I mean, that team is a playoff team. They should have went to the playoffs last season.
Yeah, I mean, everybody.
And I know where I think you might be heading at. I think Justin Herbert is just so good that he can overcome that dysfunctionality. We've seen I think Justin Herbert is just such of a superstar now. Well, he's not a superstar yet, but I just think he's so great that he can overcome a coaching change like that. And if you can have success with the certain circumstances that we had last year with COVID, only having 1 month of training camp, and then on top of that, he was named the starter 15 minutes prior to the game with pretty much no first team reps for the whole entire week. I think he should be able to handle having a new head coach and a new staff.
Yeah, but there's still a problem though. And see, this is the thing that I like to see. When I ask these questions, JT, I'm not trying to make you look bad. I just want to see where you're going with your thought process, because I know you're gonna come with something. JT, can I point your attention to something? Can I point it to something really quick, JT? Mm-hmm. Let me bring that up here for you. All right, let me take this down. I don't want nobody to miss this, people. Do you remember that guy right there, that offensive coordinator, that Joe Lombardi dude? That guy.
No. What about him?
You know, he used to be a Detroit Lions offensive coordinator.
He was awful.
Oh, no, listen, I'm going to have you go do the research. I'm not going to give you the answers. I just want to have you to get the research. The reason I asked this question was for you to, to see where you was at with it. Now, stay with me. We know what Brandon Staley is, right? But I know who Joe Lombardi is. Now let's talk about Renardo Hill. You know Renardo Hill, the new defensive coordinator. Now, clearly he was a former DB and the DB's coach at Denver. And the Lions did the same thing, basically took a DB's coach and turned him into a defensive coordinator from the Saints. The difference is our defensive coordinator went out and got Don Capers to be his safety net. Who is the safety net for Renardo Hill?
I mean, Brandon Staley. I expect Brandon Staley to be calling the plays this year. And
nope, Joe Lombardi is.
I'm talking about Brandon Staley having control of the defense.
You think he's gonna have control of the defense? You think? So Renardo Hill is just he's just there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Listen, I ain't trying to kill nobody's dreams. I'm just trying to get to some answers here. Let me ask you this question, just to speedball it. We already got the Chargers as the team, the best chance to succeed this year. Who's the second team?
I mean, they're pretty much the only one I really trust for real. I mean, you're not buying into the Falcons with Arthur Smith. You ain't buying into this. I do, but I don't think they're going to have success immediately. The two teams, okay, so other than the Chargers, I'm tied with Detroit and Jacksonville. And I said that in the video I made about Detroit earlier. I'm not saying the Lions and Jaguars are going to be playoff teams, but I definitely think they're going to be super competitive and they're going to exceed a lot of people's expectations. Same thing with how, everybody said I was tripping with Washington last year, and Washington won 7 games and made it to the playoffs.
All right, let me help you again. Okay? Let me help you again. Do you know who that guy is right there?
Yeah, Darrell Bevell. The Lions offense was pretty good under Darrell Bevell. And he was recommended by Russell Wilson. And several others. Like Urban Meyer was recommended Darrell Bevell by a lot of people in the NFL world, not just Russell Wilson, but others.
I'm cool with it. Here's what I know about Darrell Bevell. His offense becomes very predictable at the year one. And in year one, in most cases, I think he had success with the Lions early on because he was out of the league for a while. Now he's back to year one and 100%. And so I see situations where this gives me more confidence. I can't put this dude right here. Tell me a time Urban Meyer won without cheating. No, I'm serious. Tell me. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win. I'm trying to figure this out. People in the chat, can y'all tell me one season? This is JT gave number 2 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm debunking all of this BS right now because this is crazy. I didn't say
number 2. I said I had them tied with the Jaguars and the Lions.
Okay. Oh, fair enough. Anybody in the chat can please tell me what year did Urban Meyer win where there was no scandal? Because from what I can tell, he's always been in a scandal. And then he inexplicably retires or leaves because he's not feeling
hard issues.
It's always something. Okay. How he gonna cheat in the NFL? I'll wait.
Hey man, I didn't know. It's always new ways to cheat, man. I don't know. Ask Bill. He may be on the phone with Bill Belichick. Let's ask him.
Okay. Listen. Let me switch gears because I don't want to stay on this too long. I just want to show you the reality that is these new teams. The Texans ain't doing nothing. Look at this. I mean, come on. Really? If you look at the Detroit Lions coaching staff with Dan Campbell, Anthony Lynn, and Aaron Glenn, who out of the 7 new head coaches, who has a better staff?
I mean, Detroit.
Arthur Smith is calling his own plays.
There's nothing wrong with that. And it was a comment that somebody made about somebody being the next Matt Patricia. That's not always the case. You can call plays and still be, really good. Matt LaFleur calls the plays for Green Bay. Sean McVay calls the plays. Like, there's several coaches who call the plays and still have success.
Yeah, I don't think you understand. Hold on. I think you're missing it. I don't think you're getting what they're saying. It's not that they're saying he's going to be this because he's calling plays. It's saying that you couldn't assemble a staff. It's hard enough to be a head coach as it is. Now you can take over play calling. You're not supposed to be the main play caller. What's the point?
Doesn't Andy Reid call it? What Andy Reid was calling the plays for Kansas City for a while. Like, I don't know why people keep saying Eric Bieniemy. Like, Andy Reid has been the play caller, hasn't he? Like, I'm not.
If Andy Reid has been the play caller, then that explains to me why what I saw happen with them not running the ball in a game where they were successful at it. So that tells me. All right, that tells me what I need to know. Let me switch gears one more time because, like I said, I'm not going to be on long. I got to get ready for the roundtable. This also came out because I had to talk about this. JT, why is the goddamn media so freaking negative towards Dan Campbell? Why do you think this is?
The media is negative towards Dan Campbell. Like, I mean, the local media, because the national media loves him for that press conference.
Man, Mike Sports calls plays for Man Mike Sports. Well, shout out to you, sir. That's how you promote something right there. Shout out to you, sir. He said, "Man, Mike Sports calls plays for Man Mike Sports." I ain't mad at you. I'm sorry, JT. One more time for the people. Why you think they so negative?
I honestly don't know. Maybe it's the press conference because, like, if you watch that press conference, I'm gonna be real with you. He comes out kind of like a lunatic, breaking kneecaps, and it's not your traditional white blue collar press conference that you get from a new head coach. It was a lot of energy and stuff like that. But you also got to think a lot of people go towards bias. You get what I'm saying? That's why I hit on most of my predictions because I don't go off what happened last year. I give every team a new slate and do my research and then do my predictions accordingly. So everybody thinks he's going to suck because the Lions have been terrible for over the last couple of years. Recency bias.
I don't even know. I think it's because the Lions are an easy target because of the fans. And what I mean by that is this. I think that the fans read this stuff and when anything the Lions come out, we flock to it. We flock to it. Like flies on poop. Like we own it, right? And when you write a negative article and you're getting the kind of press and attention that it's been getting, then of course it's going to come up and be that way. You know what I mean? Man Mike Sports says, love you guys. I can't always watch because we are incredibly busy. Best of luck to you and your Lions. 100%. I'm gonna definitely have to get over there and join you, man, Mike, because I think we play the Falcons this year. I think we do. I'm pretty sure we play the Falcons this year, and I think that's your team, if I'm not mistaken. He said, JT, we got to connect, brother. So,
oh yeah, for sure. I've been tweeting with Matt Mike for a while.
Is Mad Mike's team the Falcons? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, because I've seen him comment on a couple of my videos because I cover the Falcons a good amount too.
I feel like it's the Falcons. I generally keep up with people and their teams and stuff. So yeah, when that game come around, we definitely got to do something because, that game. I think we winning that game. I think they're going to be better because they moved on from Julio, but I think we winning that game. I saw things last year that let me know we could be there. Falcons and Lions are my team. That's awesome. So Nicholas, go over to Man Mike Sports, man. He loved them Falcons. I'm pretty sure that's this team. All right. Here's where I think the negative media comes into play, and it's really just because of the fans. Like I said, we already blow the thing up. But the second part of it is this. You remember back? Well, I ain't gonna say back in the day, but it used to be a time when every article you can comment on it, and all of a sudden they stopped doing it because people was giving them the business. Now what they do is they're selective on what they post in the comments, right? And so a lot of times people read articles and they only read the headline and they don't read none of the details in there. And next thing you know, they get these numbers, so they just keep coming up with negative articles. But I find it ironic that this target is towards them because I'm like, oh, you know what? I ain't even got to say it. I'm just going to read one of these. This is going to be funny. Let me just get on over here because you got to see it to believe it.
Hey man, listen, you won't believe how many negative articles I've seen about Pittsburgh this year. And with David DeCastro getting released and about to retire, they're not going to do anything but ramp up.
All right, you know what? Let me make this big. I want to show y'all something. let's read something. The safest hire.
This funny. You got Jones, Luke G. You got
safest hire. This is what this says. I want y'all to see
how long you been holding on to that article, Luke G?
Just long enough. When I first saw it, the year that we hired, I was like, bruh, I don't know where this confidence comes in at, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not going to show you who wrote the article. I'm just going to read to you what it say. The safest hire is Matt Patricia for the Lions. The Titans aren't the only one trying to replicate the Patriot way. Lions GM Bob Quin, New England former director of player personnel, got his first chances to hire a head coach and went after Belichick's disciple Patricia. Patricia had been the Patriots defensive coordinator since 2012, winning 2 Super Bowls and appearing in 3. Now, I want y'all to understand, some people, that this right here in most cases, hold on, I'm getting feedback, JT. I don't know if you got something on unmuted or something, but I'm getting some feedback. Hold on, let me see. Let me mute you then. JT?
You here now?
Yeah, let me see. My check. 1, 2. Yep.
I'm here.
All right. So he goes on to write this art, this little insert, and I just find it to be funny. And this is stuff that people subscribe to and they run to and they flock to. And I'm going to show you the comments afterwards. I'm trying to do it without showing who it says. He goes on and says, Patricia can go into the Lions job focusing on what he does best, the defense. Really? Really? Okay. He's got a franchise quarterback that's been paid his money, Matthew Stafford. He said leading an offense that finished 13th in the NFL. Think about this for a second, y'all. You joined an offense that was 13th, and this guy had the audacity to say that we knew it was going to be a lot of work when we came in here, but we're going to leave that alone. He goes on and says that sure, there's room for improvement. Big red arrow points to the run game. Oh, he got that part right. But with the NFL's 27th ranked defense in 2017, Patricia's services could help balance an imbalanced team. The Lions also retained Jim Bob Cooter as their offensive coordinator, which is good news. 1, and he's good. And 2, he's got the best name in the NFL. Patricia can take his lessons learned from the almighty Belichick and perhaps help the Lions in their 26-year playoff drought. And you know what? Let's go down to the specialty comments right now. Let's get on down here. Where they at? Damn it. There you go. Look at this. Do you see anything right here?
Nope.
So I have a program, which I was trying to figure out how to show this on here. I have a program that show you views. This thing was viewed over 647,000 times. Not a single comment.
And Mad Mike Sports asked, what's up, Patricia? Is he really that bad? Mad Mike Sports. If you thought Dan Quinn, who was supposed to be a defensive-minded coach, was bad, Matt Patricia makes Dan Quinn look like a genius. Let's just say that.
Dan Quinn is 13-29-1 in 3 seasons with the Lions. 13-29-1. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. That's how bad it is. Now, I want y'all to see this because when I tell y'all that I believe When I tell y'all that I believe that this is why they are so negative, because we have a fan base that's okay with it. And so that's where the problem come in at. You have a fan base that's 100% okay with it, and they're not going to say, hey, do this and this, or they're not going to go back, because that thing should have went back and did that. They should have went back and hammered that out. Now, Predator Keenan says, I don't disagree with Patricia that 2017 Lions team was mediocre. The problem was back when they fired Swartz. Back when they fired Swartz in 2013. And that started all the problems after that with no talent on the defense. Let me think about that. When they fired, I think you got to remember when Swartz got fired, Jim Caldwell came in and went 11-5 after the team went 7-9, and they had talent. They had to make some decisions about some players, like, do you keep Stafford, Calvin Johnson, or Sue? And most Lion fans, being typical Lion fans, they wanted the offensive weapon and said, to hell with Sue. He's a dirty player. That's all I kept hearing. Was he's a dirty player. Our defense ain't been good since we let him walk. That's why he out there commenting and responding to fans, telling them when you remove the spice, things become bland. And he's telling the truth. And so when it came to the 2017 team that Patricia took over, that team that I believe went 9-7, that team that had the 13th ranked overall offense, the 27th ranked defense, we've done nothing but got worse on defense. In fact, our defense ended up being historically so bad, it outdid a team that went 0-16. So it's one of them things where I get what you're saying, but I feel like it's because of this reason, where you don't have the movement of people to comment and say, well, why do you feel like this, or question the writers? See, I was going to comment, but then I thought that's gonna mess up what I'm seeing here. When I first saw the article, I went to Twitter and sent them a message and was like, can you come on the show with me? Because I need to ask you some questions about that article you wrote. like I need to know what that was. And so to me, that's where we get the disconnect. That's where the negative energy come in at. We as a fan base are not holding media accountable. We accept what they tell us. That's why we believe that it takes 3 years for everything. 3 years to change the culture. 3 years to get this thing going. And nobody can tell me why. We got more faith, and you heard JT, he had faith in Jacksonville too. And I'm like, based on what?
I like Jacksonville. Jacksonville has a really good roster. And I lived in Jacksonville for my whole entire life. And when I tell you this team should be pretty good this year, this probably could be the second best Jaguars team I've seen in my lifetime besides that 2017 one. No, but that's not saying much because, Hold
on, JT. Hold on. JT, listen. Now, I know you don't do drugs, okay?
I'm not. Good, but you got to think, the standard around Jacksonville has not been high, Luge. I've been here for 13 years, and I've never seen a good Jaguars team. So you
said, I just want to make sure I heard you right. You said, not me, this might be the what best team?
The second best Jaguars team they put on the field in my lifetime here.
And who was the first?
The 2017 one.
And you think this... Okay. JT.
I'm not saying the best. I'm saying the second best.
I get it.
And they haven't been good because they've been picking the top 5, top 10 almost every single year. I'm not saying they're going to be great, but I'm saying that they should win anywhere between 6-7 games this year.
Listen. Stay with me. What are you basing this on? I'm not trying to be funny. Well, I'm dead ass.
I'm looking at the roster, and I do like their coaching staff top to bottom.
You know what? Hold on, JT. Wait, don't even go nowhere. Let's go back. You said he winning how many games?
They should win 6-7.
How many games get the Lions winning?
6-7.
Oh, hell no. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. Walk with me. So let's talk about this offensive line. Let's talk about that.
Their offensive line is not bad like the media makes it out to be. Cam Robinson is a pretty solid starting left tackle in this league. If he was a free agent, he probably would have gotten a lot of money, which is why they franchise tagged him, okay? Brandon Linder is one of the most underrated centers in the NFL, and Andrew Norwell is pretty good, but all three of those guys missed time. And AJ Can is really good also, but all four of those guys missed time with injury last year. They were in and out of the lineup.
Now you're starting to get to my counter talk because I was getting ready to go into that. They've been hurt. I'm just trying to figure out how. Okay.
When they're healthy, this is a good unit. You get what I'm saying? I don't like to predict injuries. Now, Jawan Taylor, yeah, he's not good, but he could end up getting replaced by the offensive tackle from Stanford, Walker Little. I think that's his name. Yeah, so he could end up getting his job taken. But the offense, the offensive line is solid when it's healthy.
Let's talk about the defense. So, okay. All right. So defensively, you feeling good about what you see here defensively too? Like this, because I'm trying to figure out how we get on the same level as them.
It's bet. Their defense is going to be better than what it was last year because their whole entire secondary went down for injuries. They literally had guys off the street playing cornerback, literally. CJ Henderson was solid. He was like the third best rookie corner. He dealt with injuries last season, but he was pretty good. Rayshawn Jenkins, don't really know how I feel about that. Shaquille Griffin, I wasn't really a big fan of it, but he's better than what they had there at that cornerback spot in the past, ever since the departure of AJ Boye. He's not bad, but he's not great. He's inconsistent. You don't really know what you're going to get. You got Miles Jack, Joe Schobert. That's one of the best linebacker tandems in the NFL right now. Joe Schobert was lights out last year. Miles Jack, he's really good also. And then you got Josh Allen. We know he did his rookie year. He had 10 sacks right off the bat. He was held back by injuries last season. Really, it's going to come down. The biggest question mark is probably going to be, defensive tackle, nose tackle. That's where their biggest question marks lie. But the defense is pretty.
But JT, listen. You gave the Lions the same record as them. They got a harder uphill battle because I guarantee you their line not gonna make it to week 1. I guarantee that. I've learned that a long time ago. Don't bet on that offensive line. The injuries always happen with this offensive line. I don't know why. It just does. You're gonna have a young quarterback coming in, and Trevor Lawrence, who has to basically turn into freaking Lamar Jackson and run. He gonna need to run.
But you're predicting injuries though. You get what I'm saying?
Listen. Let's say they totally healthy. Their coaching staff don't impress me. I'm not impressed. Joe Cullen and Darrell Bevel, no. I'm not impressed. I would love to lie to you and say I am, but I'm just not. That's why I'm trying to figure out.
That's okay though. You get what I'm saying? But like anytime you see a team like the Lions in Jacksonville are going to surprise people, you're going to get a lot of pushback from it. You get what I'm saying? I understand that. But like, I'm really confident in both Detroit and Jacksonville because there's Jacksonville fans who feel like they can have a better record than Detroit this year. And I understand they're going to have a real quarterback, but you also got to look at the fact that they're going to be really good running the football this year. And James Robinson was already the best.
But that's not my point, though. What I'm doing is anytime you bring up another team, I make comparisons to the Lions. And so when I hear you give me this thing, because like this is a Lions channel, right? Like,
yeah.
So when I hear you bring it up, and I'm thinking that they got the same record, what did they do to put them on this? They picked first overall.
Well, you look at the talent that they already have. I mean, Trevor Lawrence isn't going to a team that completely has no talent. You get what I'm saying? Last year, they had their fair share of injuries and things like that. And Doug Marrone was really still there only because, like, they didn't want to fire him because the players kind of revolted in a way, so they liked them. But I'm looking at this Jaguars team, and I'm not overhyping them. Like, it's there. You get what I'm saying? He has weapons to throw to, and the offensive line is pretty good when they're healthy. So let's say, Cam Robinson goes down. Walker Little was, highly, touted coming out of the draft. A lot of people wanted him. he went in the second round for a reason. You know, Tyler Shatley was pretty good. That's their backup center, and he was pretty solid last year. I'm not
all I'm saying is this. When I go through and I look at teams, I look at certain things. I look at from top to bottom. I look at every little aspect of it. And I'm just telling you that for me, when I look at these teams that's coming in with new head coaches, the Lions are clearly one of the teams in a very good situation. Obviously, the Chargers, you know, they got a sophomore quarterback and they guy, but you know, and then you know the Falcons got Matt Ryan, but I think Matt Ryan is starting to get on the wrong side of his age. So you start to go down the Texans. I don't think Deshaun Watson played for them. So Tyrod Taylor it is. So I'm just saying, when we go through, we look at these new head coaches and we look at the Lions and we're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars being a better team. I'm not saying it with Urban Meyer. Not that
well,
quick.
I don't think they're going to be a better team. I think they're going to be, I think you guys should be on par with them. I think you guys should both, you know, finish somewhat.
All right, let me go and switch gears one more time because, like I said, I got to get off a little bit earlier. This is your time to ask me, Jacksonville has an NFL team? You wrong.
Hey, so wrong. I'm going to be real with you, man. I've lived here for 10 years, and I only watch Jaguar games when they're the only thing on. So...
Go Lions got a question. He says, so you only see 6 wins for the Lions. Is it the schedule, the talent, coaching, or something else? Like he want to understand the 6 wins that you see.
I mean, I don't just only see 6. I got to go back and pull up the schedule. I had like 6, 7 wins. I had 6, 7 wins because
I will pull the schedule up for you. I believe in making people's job easier, and I will pull the schedule up for you. Don't
I didn't know I was going to get into a full roster breakdown with you this afternoon.
You ain't got to do no roster breakdown. He just want to understand why is it only 6 wins. They won 5 with the last rated historically bad defense that they had and an offense that was not up to par. So he just wants to understand like the 6 wins. And I think that's the question for a person. Like if you're telling me there are 6 wins, let me make this big. I don't want nobody to say. All right. So if you're telling me it's 6 wins, which I'm not saying that you could be wrong about, but if you're saying that there are 6 wins, he wants to understand what is it? Is it the schedule that make you say 6 wins? Is it the coaching that make you say it's a 6 wins? Is it the talent that make you say it's 6 wins or something else? So let's go.
I have concerns about. So I have concern. I like Detroit's front 7. I like their defensive line. I'm not really sold on their linebackers, and the back end of their secondary safety concerns me. And on top of that, Jeff Okudah. And I'm not doubting Jeff Okudah, but based on the history, normally cornerbacks have a immediate impact. And the cornerbacks that don't have good first years, they normally end up being bust. Jair Alexander popped his first year. Marshawn Lattimore popped his first year. Artie Burns, who the Steelers drafted in the first round, he didn't pop his first year. He was a bust. I can't recall the last time a cornerback taken the first round had a disappointing rookie season and bounced back.
All right. So, okay. So,
I'm not concerned. I'm not really big. I like wide receiver isn't really a big, negative for me because,
let's do this really quick. We're going to make it as fast as possible. Win or loss, 49ers.
Loss.
Packers.
Loss.
Ravens.
Loss.
Bears.
W.
Vikings.
W.
Bengals.
W.
Rams.
L.
Eagles.
W.
I don't even know why I'm gonna ask this question, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I know what the hell you're gonna say. I'm gonna do it anyway. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
W.
What? Did you just say we beating the Steelers?
The Steelers always underplay the teams they have no business losing to. Happens every year.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Browns.
L.
Bears.
L.
Vikings.
W. I think they split with I think they split with every team in the division this year.
Broncos.
L.
Cardinals.
W.
Falcons.
W.
Seahawks.
L.
Packers.
W.
Now, I don't know if you noticed this, JT, but we went through every single game. And in your predictions, you got them at 9 and 8.
I do?
I'm not making this up. That's why when I said, oh, we beat it, and you said, yeah. And I said, okay, you have them at 9 and 8. As we went through each game individually, and people can go back and check and rewind it, you gave wins. You gave them 9 total wins with 8 losses. Just saying. That means your soul know that this team can't be a 6-win team.
But I mean, like I said anywhere between 6 and 8 wins though. That's been what I've been saying all off season.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying
with Jacksonville.
I'm just saying. I'm listen. I don't see no 6 to 8 wins for Jacksonville. I don't. All right. Again, people, this is y'all time to ask questions. Let me see what other questions y'all got in the building for us. Let me look. I make sure I miss nothing. It says, I think what will hurt our offense is 3rd and long. We are saying we want Goff not to lose, but will he win? Okay. Goff is going to be asked to not hurt the team. And if you are running the ball, which they've shown when you do this, and not just here, even at Cal, you set him up to not hurt the team. I think it's not about him winning. It's about can the team come together to win. They have to work cohesively. It has to be balanced. And if you don't have balance and you don't have good coaching, you don't have wins. That's how I see it. I am not just a fan. I am just not a Urban Meyer fan. I hope they suck. Okuda had to deal with Patricia. That's not fair. Look, I get what y'all saying. Let's see. Just let your soul glow, JT. Yeah, let it out, bro. You gave them 9 wins. I'm with it. I'm with it. I think you gave them 9 wins.
I'm at 8.
You gave them 9. I'll go back and tell you what you gave me wins on. You said that we're losing the first 3 games. You got us beating the Bears, the Vikings, the Bengals. They go 3. You said we'll beat the Eagles. That was 4. You said we'll beat the Steelers. That was 5. You said we'll beat the Bears. That was 6. You got us losing here to the Vikings. You had us beating the Broncos. You had us beating Arizona and beating the Falcons and losing to the Seahawks and the Packers. That's 9
I got y'all splitting with every team in the division.
Wait, okay. So but when we did it pick by pick,
and I might change that Arizona game.
You can change it. That's still a long ways from just saying for the prediction.
Yeah. I still got to do mine in July, but I mean, like, I think the line when you have a top 5, top 10 off the line, and you're really good in the trenches, like, it's kind of hard for you to be terrible. You get what I'm saying? Like, I really think like Detroit has no choice but to be a solid football team, which is why I put money down on them splitting with Green Bay this year.
Yes, let me tell you, it's a Luigi gets more people than a jump program in the Matrix. I rock with everybody, so it is what it is, man. I rock with JT and everybody. Jack Frost said he holding to you. You got us going 9 and 8. Book it.
I mean, don't do it yet, man. Like, wait till July, man. Shameless plug. Subscribe to the channel.
Look, listen, What Pride 40 says, Luke, I was petty. I looked at your old videos of you trash and Patricia. I've been doing it for a while. I took a lot of heat for doing it too, because I was like, I don't know why y'all keep buying into this. I don't. Let me see. It says, if all my predictions is crazy and ludicrous, everybody else is going to against mine, going to be on heroin from the 80s. What he did was gave Vikings 2 wins for the Vikings, then turned around and said division split.
Oh yeah, that's the division before that.
Yeah, but no, you had already gave him a win. You had already gave us a win, and I was like, what? I was like, okay.
I'm like, getting 2 wins against the Vikings.
I think it's the Bears. I feel like it was the Bears. I go back and listen to it. If we sweep the Packers, as long as Rodgers don't return,
sweeping the Packers.
Listen, I can. No. He's saying that.
Oh.
I think if we split with Pittsburgh and Cleveland, it sets us up for a roll with Turkey Day coming up. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you one thing. If we can find a way to win like some of these games that we ain't supposed to win, I think we can do some stuff. Vikings might sweep us, but we'll split with the Bears. Okay. What JT stand for? Just talk? No. Stop it. Because I'm hearing a lot of nonsense. Stop it, Daryl. Come on now. JT got the same record as Luke. Luke said 89 wins. I know. That's why I was like, oh.
But okay. Look, we gonna come back and do this once I really do my final prediction, because I wasn't really prepared to do this.
That's fair.
I'm just going off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying?
That's fair.
But everybody said I was tripping last year when I had Washington at 7-9.
Did you have him at 7-9?
I did, and I had Cleveland. I had Cleveland at 9-7 making the playoffs.
Okay.
I missed on Dallas, Philly.
Let me see. I think we'll beat Pittsburgh between them and Cleveland. Interesting. Okay. Here comes Kirk Cousins. Was a joke at Michigan State, but it's now a big deal for Minnesota. The Vikings are trash.
Kirk Cousins isn't trash.
The problem ain't even Kirk Cousins. It's Devin Cook. We keep getting our ass whooped by. That's the problem. All right, let me see. You good? That's fair. Let me see. It's raining out again. I'm done working. Time to fire up the grill for some stuff. Oh, that sounds good. Damn. Every time I talk about food, it messes with my mental. All right, JT. Listen, man. Tell the people what you got coming up on your channel, man. I know you always is coming out with 100 videos and they be in depth. What do you got coming up soon on your channel?
Yeah, man. So I'm going to driving school next week to get my license back. But after that, I'm going to be live streaming, doing my record predictions, my real record predictions that count on live stream. Going to be diving into my previewing all 32 teams. Then I'll probably start, throwing in some training camp content in there. And I've also been talking more college football lately.
Okay. All right. Good people. Well, you know me. I can't ever end the show unless it's on a good note. So first things first, we will be having a roundtable on RachelMarieSports. The link is on my community post. I put it in my Discord. I think I tweeted it out. And I think I might have put it on Instagram as well. I don't remember, but hey, I was trying to do a lot while working. So we will be going live at 7 p.m. So I got to get ready to roll over there as well. Also around 8:45, I want to say, I'm going to be on the man hour. Talking about the Lions and the NFC North today. So I'm going to be busy as hell today. And then tomorrow I'm going to be on the Dan show at 6:15, I want to say it is, Eastern Standard, talking about NFC North and the Lions as well. I'm still trying to get a few other people on. Luke love ducking questions. I promise you, Jimbo, I ain't ducking it. I'm just trying to get into the room so I get my crosstalk for our show for the round table. I ain't ducking it. He said, oh, man. He said, JT, they count now. He said he loved ducking questions. See, Luke, will we win the hard games by running the ball and in the trenches? That's the only way you do win the hard games. In fact, I've never been one to subscribe to this belief that it's a passing league. If you believe it's a passing league, then your team is probably not doing nothing in the playoffs, because the teams who are winning in the playoffs are running the ball. Especially, and those are the harder, tougher games that you have to be consistent in. But I'm not ducking the questions, man. He said he loved ducking the questions. Yeah, I'm working hard today, man. I'm trying to get a lot done in a short period of time. Bottle of Heinz ketchup versus hot desert in Arizona equals disaster in trunk. Just ask Luke. You can't ask me that, 'cause I don't know nothing about it. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no clue about what you're talking about. So that's not me. That was I don't know what you're talking about. I can't deny or confirming it, but I don't even like tomatoes. I'm just saying. So putting it out there. Well, I tell my subscriber be on my head. You know I can't end the show unless it's on a positive note. And today's positive note comes from where? The internet. I couldn't find the author of it, but I thought that the message was clear. Sometimes you have to allow paint to dry. I'm going to say it again. Sometimes you have to allow paint to dry. Now, for a lot of people, it's going to go over y'all head. Y'all going to probably be saying, Luke, you're getting too deep with this, but let's just follow me for a second. When we are born, we are born with a blank canvas. Whatever we put on that canvas is what we want. The problem is some of us spend too much time trying to do a whole lot in a short period of time. And so that canvas is constantly getting paint added to it. But the problem is you're adding paint to something that we didn't let dry. And what that does is it muddies up the photo. So when you're sitting up there trying to do everything and be a part of everything, your photo gets muddied up. And when the photo gets muddied up, things get more difficult. Now, if anybody knows anything about art or they know anything about drawing or anything, you have to allow yourself room in between your masterpiece for it to take its shape and form into the picture you always wanted it to be. But when you just simply are constantly adding wet paint upon wet paint upon wet paint, you haven't taken a second to just stop and think, did I let the paint dry? You see, you're adding chapters into your life while you're still processing other parts of the painting. And when you're doing this, you're putting yourself in a position to be let down, to be set up for failure, to be reminded that every time you think you took a step forward, you really just took 4 steps back because you never let the paint dry. See, this is funny. This is funny because one of the things I notice is we do this not only in our relationships with people that we date, but we do this in relationships with our family members, and we do this with relationships with our friends. And some of us are so good at constantly adding paint to a photo that hasn't come into its own that we begin to just simply forget that we got to let the paint dry. See, if you take the time to let that paint dry, and you can see where the lines come into perfect view, you can understand how each stroke of the brush that you're painting for your life lines up. Now, as you add more paint to it, the picture becomes clearer. The joy of the painting becomes clearer. The message becomes clearer. The appreciation for it becomes clear. And those who can appreciate it becomes even more clear. Because everybody is not going to love the masterpiece that you're painting. They're painting a different photo. And so they're trying to compare their painting to yours. And I'm saying all these different things about paint because I want you to understand one thing and one thing only. That you are the master of your art. No one controls you or your brush or the strokes or the way you apply the paint. This is your masterpiece. So take that time to create the best masterpiece so that when it's put out, that not only will it be understood, it will be cherished for life. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, notification bell. Check out my man JT Sports. Come check us out on RachelMarieSports as we get on the Lions Roundtable. We got a lot to cover and talk about, which is going to be fun to do because it's been a while since we had one. Everybody got busy. Now, JT.
Yo.
Tell the people just one more time. Just tell the people one more time. What they can find you at?
You can find me at T Sports. All you gotta do is type it in JT Sports. I should be the first one popping up.
Okay. Dave came in quick. 49 is smacking y'all week 1. You keep that same energy. you keep that same energy. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research. We are out.